Welcome back, boys. We got 9 weeks down in the season, 5 more to go before the playoffs. Let's get into everything that happened this week. First game up, we had the Cleveland Steamers barely getting the Kiffin Award over the Texas size 10-4s by 0.05 points as they defeated the Francy Feast, who missed 100 by 0.01 points. Nick, tell us how your team was able to do it this week.
I mean, you kind of already mentioned it a little bit. We do want to give some shout outs to Texas size 10-4s and the Philly Cheekles. This was a very tight Kiffin race. We didn't really blow anybody out of the waters here. So I just wanted to make sure to give them some shout outs. But to start, where can we go but the running backs, baby? The 1 p.m. Battle of Ohio. Big Chubster and Big Mixon. 4 touchdowns between the two of them. These are our guys coming into the season. You know how much we love these boys. So just really excited to see them, get some work, get some tuds out there. Big Mixon finally getting involved in the passing game, which we've been making definitely a point of emphasis here recently. So that was good to see. 2 solid days from our receivers, Deontay Johnson and Bobby Trees. Nothing too crazy, but still a solid day nonetheless. And yeah, everybody else on the team, just did essentially what they were supposed to do this week, relatively around there. Aside from Patrick Mahomes, we still got to work on trying to get him back playing Mahomes like football. We do want to give 2 shout outs on the bench this week. One, team captain Odell Beckham didn't play this week, got cut by the Browns, but he's about to go put himself in a much better situation. And we've been talking with Odell today, trying to figure out where's the best place for him. So hopefully answer shortly. And we also got a shout out Ayuk, brought him back home this week. And he put up a great performance, even though we're still trying to get him acclimated into the system, but really glad to have him back in the facilities.
Do you think it's too early to say this is officially the Mahomes down year? Or do you think he'll bounce back?
I mean, I think regardless of what happens the rest of the year, it will be a down year because he's had this 3-game stretch that's just been unheard of. But he can still pick it up and have a relatively good season. I think it will be known as the down year though, because of this recent stretch. We got to get him back on track though.
I guess it really only matters if he performs in the playoffs, as in weeks 14 to 17.
Well, we need to get there first, so.
That's also true. Flip side here, Francy Feast, like we said, coming up just short of 100 points. That marks 5 straight losses for this franchise after their 4-0 start. And they have suffered so many injuries. They can add Chase Edmonds to that list now. He'll be out 3 or 4 weeks. And he only got 0.3 as well, so this had to have been early in the game. Just not what you want to see from a team that just keeps facing adversity this year. But with that said, they don't have any free agent acquisitions on the season. They started 2 guys on 1-day contracts this week. They actually both performed pretty well. But it might be time to look for some long-term replacements here. Even with that said, no one on the team got over 20 points besides Jalen Hurts. So that's just not going to win you very many games. And they follow the hands of Cleveland Steamers. They got to figure it out quick, or else they're going to be fighting to not be in the league, which we would hate to see from Francy Feast. I think that's fan favorite franchise. All right. Second game up. We have Leeroy Jenkins sneaking out a swiper award as they got the win with 97 points this week over Cleas Mafia, who gets their 4th Lemp award of the season. And Nick, can you believe it? They did it without a quarterback. Again, this has now happened to Cleas Mafia 2 weeks in a row. 2 have pronounced out late Sunday. They did not get a replacement in time. Fazio there. They almost didn't play Najee Harris, but he got him a nice 17. on Monday. Just some solid performances throughout, enough to get him the win this week. Greg Zuline had 0, but that ended up being the right choice because his other kicker down here, Mason Crosby, had -1 on the day. This is just a weird week for Leeroy Jenkins here, but they get their 5th straight win now, and they are looking to threaten to get their column back. We'll see if it happens. I really would not like that to happen personally.
Adam had texted me just like, I think it was like 15, 20 minutes after game started. And he was like, oh, shit. I didn't know Tua wasn't playing today. And he was just like, oh, well, I'm playing Cleasby. He normally loses to players who have like a team that has an injured player in their lineup. And it's gonna hold true here again, third straight time for it happening. Literally happened to him last week with Noah and Dak. And just another pitiful performance from Cleas Mafia. Like scrolling down here on the score is just nothing like really great. I mean, I would say like his kicker had a good day. Matt Gay scored him 12 points, which is almost his highest. If Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs didn't squeeze out an extra point there. But I thought this was actually kind of funny too. So first game, Brandon Ayuk is off of this Cleas Mafia squad. He outscored every single player on his team aside from Matt Ryan, who was benched, and he's a quarterback. It's the only person on Cleas Mafia who outscored Ayuk this week.
It doesn't really
First
count
game off the team.
if he's on the bench, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like, even if you scroll the whole bench,
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Ayuk still scored more points. Like, the only person was Matt Ryan, who is a benched quarterback, and quarterbacks are supposed to score the most points. So just not what you want to see here from Cleas Mafia. What'd you say? Fourth Lemp Award, second straight game losing to
Fourth
somebody
Lemp
without a
Award,
starting
and
quarterback.
yeah, and second straight Lemp
Yeah,
Award
just
as well.
yeah, you got it. Some I don't know what they're gonna have to shake up there, but I mean they're going to be getting Russ back this week. Hopefully Russ will be able to right the ship as much as it can be for the rest of the season.
Hopefully, I'm guessing it's gonna be a race between them and FaZe Kev for the lake. That's where my money is.
They're both definitely probably playing in the tournament.
Oh yeah, that's almost certain at this point. All right, third game up. Yours truly, the Texas size 10-4s came in. We brought the brooms out and we swept Pams on the season, getting our second win against them, 148, 137. We were 0.05 points away from the Kiffin Award. But the last few times we got in the Kiffin Award, we've been just absolutely obliterated the next week. So we don't even know that we won it at this point. Couple quick shout outs I gotta give here. First off, my man Gordon, another big day when we needed him. We had a lot of injury problems this week, although we did get McCaffrey back. That was nice. But Gordon got a nice 19. We really needed that because we did not have any huge scores. We did have a lot of players in the teens. Marquise Brown also had 19. And we were just solid throughout for the most part. McCaffrey had 16 as he came back from injury. That was nice to see. And that was with a, quote, limited workload. So just imagine how much he's going to get when he's back to full health next week. And then the big performers were from our special teams here. We had 12 from McMahon and then a huge 27 from the Patriots against the Panthers with 3 interceptions there. So that was just nice. We're happy. We're at 6-3. We got battle for first place against Noah next week. We're going to look to make the most of it.
I wouldn't say this is necessarily a bad week for Pams here. 137. It's a pretty solid week, just not quite enough. You didn't quite get to pull the card of playing a Cleasby or a Noah this week. And unfortunately, Pam goes home with the loss here. Big day from Lamar Jackson, as he was able to put up around like 37 points, I believe. Yeah, 37 points for Lamar. Running backs did all right. I don't believe either of them ended up scoring a touchdown, so that kind of hurt them. But I remember Lemp early in the week was hyping up Christian Kirk as his big flex play this week, and it actually ended up hitting off pretty well. Christian Kirk had a big completion actually for 33 yards and also 91 yards receiving. So that was a good play from the Pams this week. Nice for them to start maybe getting that flex position solidified. I know it's been a little bit of an issue for them this year. But overall, not a bad week, just not quite enough to get the dub this week, as they'll look to bounce back next week.
Very well put. We'll see if it's gonna happen or if they'll repeat next year and just miss the playoffs again. Because this team is still yet to make the playoffs, and therefore haters have a reason to believe it won't be this year, I think. All right, fourth matchup. We have the Philly Cheekles putting up a nice 146 as they take down DeezeNuts with a miserable 83. Philly improves to 5-4, really giving themselves good chances to make the playoffs still. DeezeNuts falls 6-3. They now are tied for the division.
Jonathan Taylor here absolutely feasted on Thursday Night Football, playing up against the Jets. I believe he only played 3 quarters. He might have had a drive in the fourth, but he really didn't play much of the fourth, and he was still able to rack up 172 yards and 2 tuds against the Jets. So huge day from Taylor. Also a big day from Justin Herbert too, as he was able to score 40 points, also sneaking in a little rush TD there. And then everybody else here for the Philly Cheekles, essentially did their job this week. A lot of double-digit points, nothing like super crazy, but just enough for them to kind of be carried by the Herbert Taylor show. And they're able to come out here with a nice victory against what was previously top of the East, DeezeNuts.
Yeah, DeezeNuts having a week that was Lemp Award worthy, but they did not quite do as bad as Cleas Mafia did. Let's go through this. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players finishing single digits for a nice 83 points. That's just not going to get it done. They lost their outright first place. They now are tied with Texas 10-4, so they will match up with next week. So now they don't have much room to spare on the division. You got to win that game, but we're going to be coming for you, Noah, so you better be prepared. And this team has a history of falling apart when it gets cold out. Just 2 years ago, they were tied for the division around the halfway point, and they fell all the way to last place and had to buy everyone drinks. So I think the front office better be aware of that and do their best to make sure it doesn't happen again this year. All right, fifth and final game. We had the comeback victory for the GOAT KD as they improved to a modest 4-5 record, defeating FaZe Kev by a score of 129-110 as FaZe Kev falls to a miserable 1-8 record.
Starting off here, Kirk Cousins, nice little fill-in this week with Rodgers being out with COVID. See a nice little rushing touchdown there from old Captain Kirk. That's kind of nice there for Coop. Also, Alvin Kamara, doing Kamara type things, another 20 points from him. Booker actually was balling out. I was watching a little bit of that Giants game, and he was looking really good. They started to go away from him a little bit at the end. I think he might have ended up picking up a stinger or something. He was out for a drive, but he was balling out there. Coop's big tight end acquisition this week that he was hyping up on Sunday night, Cole Kmet, coming out with 15.2 points, leading receiver for the Chicago Bears on that Monday night game. He was definitely very impressive. And you also have Keenan Allen right there, just having a Keenan Allen type day, 12 receptions and 100 yards. So just overall, some definitely key performers from Coop here that were able to show out and, get just enough here to squeak past FaZe Kev with a nice little, 128 points on the week?
129.
129.
Close enough. Yeah, FaZe Kev, they had a situation to come back with Chase Claypool going against Cole Kmet on Monday night. They were not able to get it done. they were really put behind the 8 ball early. Josh Allen only 13 points as the Bills lost to the Jags, if you can believe that. I had to take a hard double take at that one. But yeah, no one on FaZe Kev over 20. They felt hot coming off their win last week, but reality set back in. And like I said earlier, it looks like they're in a hot battle for the lake with Cleas Mafia. I hope neither of them gets it, but it's looking that way so far. All right, that is it for this week. We look ahead. Week 10 schedule. First up, Texas Size 10-4 is taking on DeezeNuts. Battle for first place in the East. We'll see who's able to get it done. Second up, we have the Philly Cheekles taking on the GOAT KD. The GOAT KD looking to make both teams 500. Philly looking not to stay above 500 and make a push for the playoffs. Third up, we got Cleveland Steamers taking on FaZe Kev. Nick, are you going to continue the ass kicking of Kevin? Or are you going to show some mercy this week? Maybe let him get his second win.
Dude, under maybe different circumstances, we would consider it. Kev's been having a rough season, but like we said last week, we have to run the table right now if we want to make some noise and make the playoffs here. So we're gonna be coming ready to play.
Very well put. Fourth matchup, we got two teams coming off heartbreaking losses, but for opposite reasons. Pams taking on Cleas Mafia. We'll see who's able to bounce back in that one. And then fifth matchup, Francy taking on Leeroy Jenkins. Leeroy Jenkins looking to continue to hold on first place in the league. We'll see how that goes for them, if they're going to really threaten for the column coming down the stretch here. Quick peek at the standings. East Division just continues to look stronger and stronger. But we're coming down to the end here, people. Nick, any final thoughts before we get off?
Nope, we're really coming down the stretch here. So these next couple weeks are going to be very important to see who makes the playoff tournament and who's going to be fighting for their life.
Very well said. Well, that's it for us this week, boys. Have a good week. Bring your A game this weekend. Peace out.